Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me have some more RPG horror stories. I realized I didn't record as many videos as I wanted to last time, so I'm back again at 2 in the morning. I hope you appreciate the sacrifice. Actually, there's not much of sacrifice. I've not been sleeping so well lately, so I might as well use my time wisely. And the best time to use wisely is staying up all night and recording some more Tales Tomorrow. Let's get to the first story for today. Murdered by Player Knowledge. I started with Beck Me back in the mid-80s. One of my friends ran the classic adventure Palace of the Silver Princess. The characters explore a palace where all the inhabitants are under a magical slumber. I should mention we played 2 characters each. 2 characters? Is that something iconic to Beck Me? Actually, what is Beck Me? I'm curious. Beck Me, compiled by Frank Metzner and published from 1983 to 1986, is the newest edition of the basic series of D&D rules. It's named Beck Me as it includes 5 separate sets: Basic, Expert, Companion, Masters, and Immortal. So I'm gonna just wildly assume that this is just a different version of D&D that people could play, like, you know, AD&D and stuff, where the rules are just slightly different, but for the most part their core is similar. But I never heard of a TTRPG where you can play as 2 characters. I mean, I guess it could work, right? But that would be just a lot to keep up with. We're surprised to encounter 2 courtly ladies who are still awake. I open my mouth to have one of my characters greet them, but I'm interrupted by one of the other players, Bob. His wizard casts sleep on them. His fighter then proceeds to murder them. Naturally, I and the other players are taken aback. We ask why Bob's character would kill 2 seemingly unarmed, helpless women. The DM explained that they were thieves who would have tried to murder us. They didn't really explain why Bob knew this. I read the module. Yeah, he read the module. They'll try to murder you in your sleep. Wait a minute. Read the module? Wait, so you know ahead of time what is happening. You're just playing along with people and just going, oh yeah, I know this part. Murder them all. I get if you're reading the module as a DM, or if you're interested in just the text itself and you just want to read it for the sake of reading it. But to use that information as like meta knowledge in order to predict what's going on, and the DM being perfectly fine with it, like, yeah, he read it, he totally knows what's up, they were totally gonna do that thing, so Bob did the right thing. There's a lot more text for this, so I hope it gives a little bit more context. Too short, want more. Bob and the DM are brothers. An older cousin of theirs have given them D&D stuff we started out with, basic and expert books, some huge dungeon maps on paper from some of the printing operations, and a handful of classic modules. Since they had the stuff and better organized, they trade off DM duty. It turns out they both read the modules, then decide which one would run it. The one playing would use their knowledge of the module to find all the secret doors, deal with hidden threats, disguise thieves for example, and the like. I hadn't really noticed when we were playing, but immediately it became obvious on reflection. The innocent in the story led to a short, very circular argument where it was clear the brothers didn't understand why we would object to what happened. We weren't able to understand why they couldn't understand why we object to what happened. Some players want to go into the module without having somebody pre-read stuff ahead of time and just explore it and enjoy it for themselves. If somebody's just jumping in ahead, it's like playing through a video game for the very first time, but you always have somebody in the backseat saying, ooh, go behind the waterfall there. Ooh, use fire on that guy, he's really weak to it. Ooh, if you do this little puzzle, you get like a super legendary extra sword. Like, dude, enough. Let me just enjoy myself a little bit. Let me play an RPG for the sake of playing an RPG without having somebody spoil stuff ahead of time. It is really concerning though that the brothers find no problem with that, because like, yeah, I mean, clearly they're of course gonna read this stuff and make sense, sure. But if somebody is new playing for the very first time and they just want to enjoy it for the sake of playing it and enjoying it without having to be read ahead or spoiled ahead, I mean, that's part of why we actually even have any new experiences in the first place. I don't want to be reading a book that I already know what's going to happen in. I don't want to watch a movie that I already know the ending of and all the plot twists and points. I don't want to play a game that I already know the ending to, because I'm just not as excited or invested into playing the actual game. The gameplay could be great and all, and that's completely fine, but if I know how it's going to end, it sort of takes away any sort of that magical wonder. Anyway, some people want to play without having all the stuff or all the coolest things and best moments be spoiled already. The whole point of playing TTRPGs, in fact, in my opinion, is to explore other people's stories and be part of the storytelling together. If you know how the story is gonna go at the end of the day, then you're sort of killing it for yourself. You're sort of taking away your own excitement because you know where every single hidden door is, every single hidden encounter, every single secret, how to solve every puzzle, how to get through A, B, C, and D, and what's the weakness the BBG is gonna have in order to kill him the fastest possible. We're playing TTRPGs here, not trying to get like a world record speed run or anything. Anyway, be mindful people that want to enjoy the content for what it is and not have it be spoiled ahead. Either way, let's get to the next story for today. Am I in the wrong here? I wake up this morning and I get a friend request from this guy who I know now is the DM. I had no clue who he was or how he got my Discord ID. All I knew was that he was currently playing League of Legends. I saw his name occasionally flash green, then back to yellow. I even tried to get his attention. However, I don't know if I went too far or not. He said too that he just woke up, but I doubt that if his profile had displayed the game he was playing. I'm very confused at the moment, and I'm now wondering if I actually dodged a bullet or not. Hello? Hey, who are you? Why'd you send me a friend request? Yikes, sorry mate, just woke up. You applied for my LFG stream game, and your first message was at 3:30 AM. It's currently 6:30 AM where I'm from. I don't think we're gonna mesh though. You're kinda rude. Best of luck. Dude, up to now I had no idea who you were or how'd you get my Discord name. Honestly, I started to think you were a hacker or something crazy like that. It's clear we got off the wrong foot, and I'm sorry. Some people are saying you kind of came off a little bit aggressive, which, I mean, I guess factually you did. But at the same time, if you've been dealing with Discord bots and Discord spammers and scammers for a while and having to have different friend requests and random DMs from people saying, I'm an artist and here's all the art I've done, which is actually just stolen from other creators, please commission me. Ooh woo, please. I can't do a little ooh woo poke finger because the book is in the way, but pretend I'm doing it. Ooh woo, senpai, please commission me. I'm totally not gonna be somebody that's gonna do anything sussy-wussy and try to scam me out of money. Ooh woo. For real though, there's so many Discord scammers out there, dude. It's actually insane. It's actually nuts. A bunch of servers that I'm in are just constantly just swarmed with them. At that point, I just start turning off DMs from a bunch of servers just so I can stop getting them. It's no wonder you got a little bit sussed out from a random friend request out of nowhere, especially since the DM didn't communicate that they were gonna be reaching out any specific way or anything like that. You know, I would suppose if you did put down your application and you put down your Discord name and stuff, they would add you eventually. But I would think they will probably want to let you know. It's like, hey, I'm the DM from the post. Hi, if somebody applied to one of my games and I had to like go through a whole application process, I'll probably want to just add them and be like, hey, it's me, Morrow. You applied to my LFG post and stuff. But I guess this DM couldn't potentially. I'm not fully sure. I don't know why this person replied with a yikes. Like, is that a yikes to want to know who is adding you, especially if you don't know this specifically? It doesn't seem like you guys share a server anywhere. Let's not beat around the bush. It's literally clearly a Discord misunderstanding with a bunch of people just using Discord to scam and spam people and stuff. Like, obviously some people are going to be guarded. There's so many spam accounts and scam accounts everywhere, so you honestly never know who's going to be adding you. The guy didn't even clarify the fact that he is a DM from the LFG group. I'm assuming if you applied on Roll20, there's probably some sort of a DM messaging, like an instant messaging system in there. If you're signing up through Roll20, I'm assuming they have some sort of a DM system, like direct message system. They could have just DM'd to say, hey, cool, I'm gonna go ahead and add you in Discord. This is my username, so you don't get freaked out, right? There could be a chance to dodge a bullet, but I'm not fully sure. Either way, if somebody can't just get through and just get over the misunderstanding and really takes your message of who are you as being rude, then I don't know, man. If somebody asks me who am I tell them, oh, I'm Morrow. Hello, nice to meet you. I don't know how that's rude. Anyway, next story for today. Main character syndrome of the game. This isn't exactly the worst D&D experience, but it was pretty bad for me, and made me just not want to be part of this party anymore afterwards, mostly due to the other player. Everyone else was amazing. I'm not the greatest at the game, but I do enjoy just having a light-hearted brief encounters in the sessions I play, mostly to ease away from just having the most serious campaigns. I've DM'd once before, and that was an improv campaign that my classmates and friends enjoyed on days off of my other friend's campaign. I gave that context for the story I have today, in which I was going with my sister to one of her friends' group D&D sessions, most of them being much older and in the late to mid-20s. I was just going in to be the NPC follower that they have, who pretty much was a half-elf that was level 5 cleric multiclass into a bard at level 3. She was a very kind and timid character and wasn't the best at confrontation on the surface, but could do pretty well in being in Party's Mediator, which was compiled of a human fighter, warlock, main player of the issue, a tiefling rogue mage, the jovial troublemaker, a dwarven barbarian artificer, my brother-in-law, and finally a homebrew race archer, no multi-classing year. The DM's wife, who wasn't getting any special treatment, luckily. You know what things deserve a special treatment? Punctuations. Like, I get it, sometimes people write it in a rush and everything, but if you have giant run-on sentences that don't have any punctuation or breaks or stops in them, it makes it really difficult to read them properly. I'm trying my very best to make it sound more eloquent than it's written, and like nothing is OP and stuff. I get it, like grammar is difficult, but you can also download programs like Grammarly that does this stuff automatically for you. There's a bit more context to have about the campaign we're doing. It's a homebrew that the DM worked expertly on and planned very well for things to go awry. When we had started the campaign, I was with the rogue and barbarian going around town. Me fitting the character was essentially babysitting the rogue, and barbarian was my muscle, as the party was split doing errands before they set out for their dragon slaying quest. I was going to various stalls getting rations and stopped the rogue from stealing when I had asked the DM what he thought of me making a persuasion check for getting a bakery from a sleazy noble who was upcharging the prices of everything. He allowed it, and when I had asked the noble the price he'd sell the bakery for, he said 3 platinum pieces. I, in turn, rolled a persuasion check. I got an nat 20, in which I asked if I could buy it for just 1 gold coin. The noble, who just DM admitted wasn't very charismatic, failed his check and sold me the bakery. We were going to be in this town for a while, so side money wasn't a bad idea. It was intended to be a very long campaign. I then reduced the prices to much fair standards and made bank. This wasn't known to the fighter, as they were being micro-DM'd by the wife, whose character was resting due to poisoning from the previous session with said dragon. Wait, whoa, pump the brakes a little bit. So let me just get this clear. You walk around with the rogue and barbarian, and you found a bakery where people apparently are overpricing the baked goods. I mean, baked goods are a commodity, I guess, unless you get bread. But either way, let's assume it's a nice place. It's not the most basic, but it's not the nicest. I mean, the place costs 3 platinum. That's 30 gold. That's dirt money. I mean, depends on the campaign you're running, but like to me, that's dirt money. Not dirt money, but you know what I mean. Adventure gets enough money to be able to purchase a bakery for 3 platinum. And you do a persuasion to basically haggle it down from 30 to 1 gold. A single gold coin. Enough for any random commoner to live off of, basically on daily amenities and stuff. A single gold coin by average is what you buy in this thing for. Why does the DM just let you do that? I mean, I don't mind people having businesses and everything, but if it's a bakery, that means they have employees and they have facilities and stuff. But also to haggle it down with a 20 for 1 gold coin, I don't know, man. Something seems a little bit sketchy to me. I don't know why DML is allowing that. Also, what do you mean by DM's wife is micro-DMing for fighter or something? Are they like tag team DMing? Are there 2 DMs or 1 DM? I have no idea. There's so much to handle. This is where the session got really fun. The fighter was one of those people who didn't listen to the other characters and just made plans of his own. Wasn't very enjoyable in my opinion, but it was fine with the DM and I put up with it. It had been a skippable few weeks and the bakery had earned me over 5 platinum. And the fighter had blown all his money on the helmets of shore teleportation due to the plan he had constructed, and no one wanted to give him money from his past session fails. I came up with a brilliant idea to offer the fighter a trade, 1 platinum chip if he listened to my plan. He begrudgingly agreed. I simply wanted to go along for the slay quest, and he had to listen to one suggestion where the fight had started. Me and the DM hatched the plan that I would get a helmet, and the fighter wouldn't, in which I could attempt to befriend the adult green dragon, and if it failed, I'd teleport out with my helmet, and the fight would ensure. So wait, so you're concocting a plan with the DM to basically yoink the magical item, yoinkage from the fighter, even though it's their item specifically. Why not just talk to the fighter about it? Also, hold on, let's also clarify one thing. You're playing as an NPC character, right? Like, I don't mind if you just want to play just in general, but you're playing as an NPC character who is more of a supporting character. And the other players are PCs, I'm assuming. Now, my question is, why are you making a plan with the DM to basically make your character be the stand-in for the Great Persuasion encounter with the dragon instead of the player characters that already have a plan going on? Does the fighter not want to tell plans to everybody, or do they just not want to tell plans to you? Because that's the question here. Like, what is going on? Why I have a massive question. Are the players being sidelined so the NPC character that you're playing as can go and do the Great Persuasion quest with the dragon and then teleport out with a magic item that is fighters, not yours? But you make it a plan with the DM to basically yoink the item from them, put it on yourself and use it, and then get away in case things go bad. I just want to know what the other players are thinking. I'm curious. The fighter didn't take this well when we got into position before the dragon. As he put it, "But I'm the hero, I can't let that happen. You're a frail cleric that can't even offer the dragon anything in return." It's best to put this here, but the fighter never even bothered to look at the NPC sheet, in which the only other language that I knew was Draconic. Shouldn't you be communicating that with the party then? I don't know, man. Like, it's like, they just didn't look at my character sheet. If only they knew I had a superpower. What happened to communicating with the party? Like, if you're supposed to be the NPC for the party, it's supposed to be like supporting cast, why didn't you just tell the party, "Hey guys, I know Draconic. I know we probably have to fight the dragon, but I could try to talk to it maybe." What is happening here? Like, yeah, the fight is saying, "I want to be the hero" and stuff. Like, you're not doing any better. You're just stealing the spotlight from the player characters too. Like, what is going on here? Are you also part of the problem? I feel like you might be. What is happening? I then took his helmet, twisting his whole main character shtick, saying he couldn't back out of this. I then apprehensively approached the dragon and offered it a simple but large card of pastries and gold. I made another persuasion check and just barely got the dragon to agree to accept my gift and listen. I offered it to become the lord of a rather large village to the south if it would simply become my ally in my time of need. It agreed if I could occasionally still come to the kingdom to obtain its tax for this. I ensured I would try my best to make amends between it and the king who sought its head. You know what it seems like? It's like a DMPC comes to rescue the day as everybody else in the party just have to stand and watch. Please do remind yourself that they're playing as an NPC character cleric that the DM just put together, or I guess co-DMs put together, the wife of the DM. They're playing an NPC, a supporting character that shouldn't be part of the main story or shouldn't be stealing the thunder. I mean, unless they're just a player character now out of nowhere, it's weird for the DM to just out of nowhere just be like, "Yeah, okay, that's completely fine." Are they just rolling insane persuasions or something? I feel like there's something weird happening here. There's definitely 100% weird things going on. One, it comes off as somebody's playing a DMPC character that's basically, the cleric is a DMPC, basically, just being like puppeteered and controlled by an actual person for once. But also, it sounds like they are just straight up just taking away any sort of player agency by making the great NPC cleric come in and save the day. "Oh, fighter, don't have to worry about your heroics. Let me take your helmet from you and go persuade the dragon with my lovely pastries and gold that I made from the great deal from the other day, where I bought a bakery for a gold when it was worth 30 gold. And now suddenly the dragon's like, bakery sounds good. Yeah, DMPC, I'll gladly listen to you. Don't care about the other main character party. The party itself are irrelevant. Please, DMPC, seduce me more with your grandeur and offers and stuff." Like, seriously, it sounds like DM is just having their DMPC that is puppeteered by somebody else be the main character, be the main hero of the party. I don't know, man. I'm just imagining other players just sitting on the sideline being, "That's cool, but can I play?" No? You're not down talking to the dragon? Okay, I guess I go kick rocks or something. This threw the nearly 30-year-old fighter into a tantrum that he wanted the fame and glory for slaying the dragon. Me and the DM were laughing at our plan to make the fighter have a slight inconvenience. As well as I did conspire with the DM, we didn't go against the dice. Ah, I see. Your problem here is the fact that you're playing with a shithead of a DM. You are a shithead, the DM is a shithead, and you guys are literally just playing to mock a player who is playing a player character. Fighter's behavior could definitely be somewhat of a concern, and maybe you're like trying to teach him a lesson that you're not the most important character. But is this a great lesson? Is this a great way to do it? Why not just talk him out of game and say that, hey, there's some issues with your behavior. You act like a main protagonist when everybody is a main protagonist in a party. You're not the most important character here, fighter. Maybe you should give somebody else a spotlight. You're doing it in the most conniving way possible by abusing the fact that the DM is literally on your side to scheme, not to play the game and have fair rolls, but to specifically scheme and plan for things to go specifically this way. You're scheming against a player to try to screw him over or make him feel bad or something, and I don't think it's the right way to do it. It'd be one thing if, let's say, for example, the fighter was just being worse and worse and worse, and this is just a way to just like let him like dig his own hole, basically. But it's not even that. You literally just, you and the DM are scheming to have this cleric NPC, DMPC basically, just become the great victor of the party. But I'm wondering like how the other players are feeling, because like, yeah, fighter, big mad, big butthurt and stuff, but other players probably don't feel that good, having just all the thunder and all the excitement and journey just be stolen away. I wonder how the Tiefling Road Mage is doing. Maybe they're not really enjoying this much. How the Artificer or the Barbarian, I think? Are they just Barbarian? Oh yeah, they are Barbarian Artificer. What a weird combo. But I wonder how they feeling, or the wife is feeling. At this point, everybody's just sitting on the sidelines, just waiting for this DMPC to basically take away all the thunder, to get all the excitement out of the way. What's the point? This feels ridiculous. You know what the problem is? You're trying to be the main character, and the DM is purposely fueling your main character syndrome to allow their favorite precious DMPC that you're puppeteering to basically be the center of attention. This is not a main character issue. This is a DMPC and a crappy DM and a crappy person colluding with the DM to make the crappy DMPC be the center of attention, the great victor, the great hero of the journey. This was how in the next few short months, the Green Dragon had become a lord of a land to the south of the kingdom and received gifts from the king on a yearly basis. All it mainly needed to do was watch over the fields of grain my bakery thrived off and not poison the land. This is also how the once timid NPC that was mainly just there for healing became a bakery tycoon and wealthy noble that was friends with the Green Scourge of the South, and is how all the main way the party's earning money even to this day. The fighter ended up fighting with the group about the fairness of me, a one-time player, ruining his plan of one-shotting a dragon and earning the weapon of the kingdom, which by the way was Dragon's Bane, that later was given to my B and L, as the fighter got a better weapon later anyways. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I don't remember much about the specifics, as this was 7 years ago. I don't have many questions. You answered all my questions. You're playing a DMPC that literally stole thunder away from everybody. Man, what an exciting journey. Oh, slaying the dragon, having the party concoct ways to try to confront this foe. Maybe there's a bigger conspiracy plot. Maybe there's a reason why the dragon is poisoning the land or doing what they're doing. Green dragons have their own specific behaviors, and maybe they're being very tricksy and trickery for their own selves. Maybe it could be a big plot point. Nope. This DMPC cleric comes in, buys a bakery, gives the bakery goods and gold to the dragon, and then gets the dragon to agree to a, I don't know, peace, and now everybody just making money without adventuring. They're just making money as side profits. Wow, can't believe we turned a TTRPG game into a bakery tycoon. We're literally playing bakery tycoon, dude. If you want to play a tycoon game, I recommend a bunch of video games we can play like little mini businesses. There's a ton of them. Whole slew of indie games you can play. A bakery tycoon, shopping simulator, whatever you want. You could be a business owner, run your own business, expand business, and make more profits to make more business and stuff. You can do that if you want to, but that's not what TTRPGs are about, especially D&D. D&D is about going on and journeying together. If all you had to do was just buy a bakery and just sit around and rake in all the profits every single session, then there wouldn't be no journey. There won't be no story. It's all about just collecting gold and sitting around. You're not fighting great threats or defeating great foes or fighting hordes and slew of enemies or solving town problems or adventuring. You're sitting around waiting for your next paycheck just so you can sit around, wait for your next paycheck, and then invest that paycheck into making more profits to make more paycheck. The fact that you're painting yourself as the greatest good guy in the fight as the biggest bad guy for wanting to what? Play the game? And actually do stuff? and be part of the party, have their own plans be put together, not just have the DM and DMPC colluding together. I mean, yeah, fighters' behavior could definitely become a concern, and I'm wondering why you didn't talk more about why they were a problem player more. Yeah, they probably felt a little bit bitter, I would assume, that suddenly out of nowhere, they can't play a character in the story. The player agency gets taken away because DM wants to focus on DMPC agency and making their DMPC the bestest ever. I'd be pissed too. Probably wouldn't be like throwing a tantrum fit with fighter. Honestly, I would just leave if I was fighter, but like, this doesn't make you look good. Makes it look bad, just as bad as the DM. Both you and the DM suck, OP. I'm be honest with you. You guys both suck. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.